The year is 2024. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in, folks. It's time for the Car JoeMeZ podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 384 of the Car JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is
the magistrate of Caravan City, the 2023 award winner for Major Bendy Figure of the Year, Captain Joe Shoes from the Car JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Gomez, I'm doing great. You want to know why?
Ooh, why?
Because you know what you and I both received? Our first review of 2024.
Ooh,
we encourage each and every one of you to leave those reviews over on Apple Podcast or click the little 5 stars over on Spotify. Subscribe to us at youtube.com/@CarJoeMeZPod. This review comes from Big Tuna 91, and they say, just started listening to Joe and Gomez recently, and now I'm hooked. They literally cover any topic you can think of. This podcast is a podcast for everyone. Ooh. Lots of laughs and golden little nuggets. That is how you leave a review. 5 stars. That's a
good review.
It's the only type of review we accept. Thank you, Big Tuna. Slide into our DMs on Twitter or Instagram. We'll send you an 8x10 as a token of our appreciation. And I hope more of you are encouraged to do so over the course of the coming year. Remember, the goal is to hit 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts if we can before the end of 2024. So make like Taking Back Sunday and tell all your friends.
Are you a tuna guy? You like tuna, Joe?
No,
right?
It's just the smell of it won't even let me get attempt to try it.
I get it. Yeah, I like a little tuna once in a while. Sure, not a big, but every once in a while, mix it up.
Gomez, we have a lot to get into this week. Like I said, thank you guys for listening to Car JoeMeZ. We're having a very fun first month of the year here. We're finishing up musicals, right? This month, finishing it up.
Ooh.
Very exciting. But I think it's time to hit some breaking news music, Gomez.
Oh! Breaking news. Oh, baby, what's breaking? What's going on?
What's breaking? Not my heart, because even though Valentine's Day is coming, you like that, right? That's what they call that's what they call. I don't know what they call it, but it's good. It's good. It's referential. Valentine's Day is on the horizon, Gomez, and with that comes some new candy to get you in the mood.
Yes, baby, give it to me.
The company Original Cookie Dough Bites is coming at us with a new chocolate-covered cookie dough bite in a big heart-shaped box for Valentine's Day. That's how you know it's love.
That is.
But then, not just one person can do that, right? Because our very good friends over at M&M's was like, all right, we'll do edible cookie dough as well. Little bite-sized pieces of cookie dough with an M&M square in the middle of it with Valentine's Day theme packaging as well.
I love Valentine's Day now. This is great. Giving me cookie dough. Thank you. This is awesome.
What didn't we have enough of, apparently? Cookie dough. What are we getting? Cookie dough. This is how you product.
There's a lot of cookie dough on the market now. I'm not complaining. I love it. It's good.
Well, not only Valentine's Day, but now people are getting in the mood for Easter as well. And you know what happens for Easter, Gomez?
I'm scared.
Candy.
Okay. Yes. I love any holiday that revolves around candy. Woo-hoo, that's my shit, bro.
Where did you think I was going with this?
I don't know because
Easter Bunny. We're
Easter
gonna
Bunny.
go back to the furry convention from last week.
Maybe could have been.
Gomez, how do you feel about jelly beans?
I love jelly beans. I'm a big jelly bean guy.
Are you really?
Yes, I do.
I
get
fucking
excited.
despise them.
Oh no, we have a big ceramic like Easter egg, and we put jelly beans for Easter, and we just kind of eat jelly beans all throughout the month. We love it. Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
Well, it's good. What's wrong with jelly beans?
I just hate jelly beans.
They make sexy ones like the Starburst jelly beans. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Well, guess what they're making now, Gomez? Like I said, you can't have just one because our buddies over at Good Humor are doing creamsicle flavored jelly beans.
Okay, I like you like creamsicle stuff. I like creamsicle stuff, orange and vanilla.
Not my thing.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I got to be in the mood for it though. It's very when you do a vanilla thing, right? It's like you got to be in the mood for vanilla because it's very strong. So I would try it. Of course, I would definitely try it. Come on.
Well, what if I told you not only could you try those, and both of these, the upcoming one as well, are available in stores now, apparently. You just got to be able to find them. How would you feel about Fruity Pebbles flavored jelly beans, Gomez?
Holy shit. Fruity Pebbles, man, the best. I love me some Fruity Pebbles, but they're in everything now.
And that's not necessarily a good thing.
But I'm willing to try.
Pebbles, the absolute worst coffee creamer flavor I ever had. Dumped it out, threw it away, was hot garbage.
Oh, that's so
hot
crazy.
Garbage. Basura. Awful. You know what else sucked? They had these Fruity Pebbles like crisps. They were almost like they weren't like potato chips, but they were kind of potato chips, but they came in like little packet bags.
Mm-hmm.
They were fucking just plain. It felt like
had like no flavor.
It felt like you were getting the fucking communion at church.
It was weird.
A fucking bullshit wafer.
I tried that thing. It made no sense. I was very excited for that. I'm like, all right, little bite-sized, big puff. No, garbage. I agree.
Yeah. So those are some jelly beans that are coming out.
I'm excited. I'll try it.
I'm glad you will, because I won't. Not my thing. But you know what I will try?
Ooh.
Over at Wendy's. As we record, this is out, should be available in your local Wendy's. A new breakfast burrito.
Okay.
If you look at it and you go, what's so important about this? Because it's bacon, it's eggs, it's seasoned potatoes, cheddar cheese, and mayo. It sounds like a regular fucking breakfast burrito, right? The gimmick here is that it comes with side packets of Cholula hot sauce.
Hysterical.
So if you want to spice up your breakfast, you get it on the side. Like that's the gimmick, is that you could get packets of this. Now I'm a Cholula guy. I like Cholula.
I enjoy it. It is good. I will enjoy it.
So I feel like I gotta go and check this out. But otherwise, I was looking at it. I'm going, okay, bacon, egg.
It did. It sounds like just whatever they have, and they just wrapped it together. Yeah, that's funny. You mentioned Easter. I haven't tried it yet, but I did buy. They had Peeps. They had a new flavor of Peeps. I know you're not. Peeps are very, very hit or miss. Yes, people, they get crazy when you talk about Peeps. I love a Peep. Do I love all the crazy flavors they make? Usually they're not so good. So they just came out with a Rice Krispie Treats flavored.
I've heard about this.
I bought it, but I haven't tried it yet.
Okay, I'm very interested if it's almost like, instead of the sugar coating on the Peep, if you get like a Rice Krispie coating, or if the actual thing itself the marshmallow tastes more Rice Krispie-ish. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. And you know what? With the magic of editing, I'm going to run upstairs and I'm going to go bring them down so I can eat them right now, and I'll tell you. Here we go. Hold on. They're right over here.
Few moments later.
I got it right here, the fucking blue screen. But we're gonna see the Peep is white, so you can see the Peep. It's just a regular blue container, and it says Rice Krispie. So right away, they're weird looking because they're like whitish looking, but like.
See, that's what I mean. It doesn't look Like it has like the sugar coating that I'm used to seeing, like when they're purple or pink or something. It's like that. So is there a coating at all?
Not like the sugar. Like my fingers are
So yeah, it's
sugary.
still.
If you could, it's pretty much the same. And just smelling it, it has an extra sweet flavor, as if a peep wasn't sweet enough.
Yeah.
Just smelling this, and you're going, "This is gonna be fucking sweet." All right, here we go.
This is an audio podcast, so if you're listening at home, JoeMeZ is making a very unimpressed face right now.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's not terrible. I guess it's right. I don't really get I guess it's kind of marshmallowy, like an extra marshmallowy flavor,
But nothing that makes it Rice Krispie-ish.
No.
See, that's what I was curious about.
I mean, maybe someone will bite into it and go, "Yeah, that's the right." I don't know. To me, it just tasted like a Peep. There's a little extra sweet, and kind of like when you have something that's not marshmallow, because it's a marshmallow, obviously. But like when you have something that has marshmallow flavor, kind of has that flavor. So that's like put marshmallow flavor on the marshmallow. I don't know.
So it's like fluff on bread.
But that's good with some peanut butter. You got to fluff another.
Not my thing.
Oh, you don't love a fluffernutter?
No, I don't like my fluff with my mix with my peanut butter.
Oh,
one or the other, not both.
All right, I'll respect it, but I think it's a perfect mix. Now I want a fucking fluffernutter. I haven't had one in a while.
So there you go. We got a live taste test and review of the new Rice Krispie Treats Peeps here, which hey, that wasn't on the format today, so we're already going wild, JoeMeZ.
Whoa!
And speaking of going wild, we had some awards given out last week. It was after we recorded, but before our episode came out. But the Emmys were last week, and I'm not going to go through every award, but I think a couple things you and I and our passengers would be a little bit interested in. Outstanding comedy series, The Bear on FX. I know you've watched this show. You like this show. I don't think it's a comedy.
It's not. Like, there's comedic moments, of course, to cut the tension, and people are just naturally funny. But to call it a comedy is just wild. It's wild, bro. It's so silly.
So is it because it's only a half hour? Is that the reasoning behind it?
It kind of seems that's kind of how they categorize certain shows like that. Because there is no way you would watch the show and be like, "Oh man, I had a great," like after a show, like we never watched season 2 because the show was intense. Like the show was like, holy shit, like you're in the kitchen and it's yelling and going back and forth. Shit is happening. And you might laugh, but at the end you're like, woof, man, that was a crazy episode. Like, wow, okay. Now man, when he told her to get that cornbread, holy shit. It's not like that at all. So I don't get it at all. But
so Jeremy Allen White won for lead actor in a comedy.
He's great.
Again.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
And I hear he's excellent. Obviously, he was just in the Iron Claw as well. For some reason, the people think he looks like Kerry Von Erich.
Silly.
But
silly.
whatever. Hey, everything I've heard is that the show is good. It's not something I've ever stopped and tried to tune into, but it's something I should check it out.
Yeah, I think you would like it.
I've heard enough good things about it from enough different people now that it's like, all right, this is something I should be watching.
It might not be your thing, but you'd be like, all right, that wasn't bad. I just, I don't, that's not for me.
Outstanding drama, JoeMeZ. Succession. Everybody's talking about Succession. Also, lead actor in a drama was Kieran Culkin. Lead actress in a drama was Sarah Snook, both from Succession. So this show absolutely cleaned up at the Emmys. Do you watch Succession?
We watched season 1. We like it. It's good. There's other things we would rather spend our time with.
Outstanding TV movie. Weird. The Al Yankovic story.
Really? Wow, that's funny. And that was 100 years ago, wasn't it?
It was last year we watched it.
Wow, that feels
remember
like
it was on like
ago.
Roku or something.
It's on Roku TV. Wow, that's crazy. Weird Al.
I mean, must have been a slow year for TV movies. I think both of us were kind of.
It was like,
it's fine.
Yeah, had some moments, but no, that's funny.
And I wrote this one down just because I was really taken aback when I saw that this was something that won an award. Outstanding animated program. And this is for obviously one episode of television. It's not for a
Yeah.
full season. But outstanding animated program, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 33.
Wow.
Now,
of all the episodes too.
I don't watch new episodes of The Simpsons. It's not like a show I keep up on. I don't want to say I'm doing a rewatch, but every now and then, as I'm falling asleep, I'll put on Disney Plus and put on The Simpsons and use it as something to fall asleep to. Because at this point, there's probably hundreds of episodes that I just haven't seen because I've been
Literally, yes.
checked out on watching The Simpsons for such a long time now in new
20
episodes.
Yeah.
You know, we're going on, this is the 33rd Treehouse of Horror.
It's been like 20 years where we haven't watched regularly, which is like insane to think about. Like the show's been on
20 years only puts you back to 2004. So
it's probably even
is
more
that
than
really so unbelievable? No, it's probably more than that in all honesty.
It's just saying it out loud. Like, man, I haven't watched The Simpsons on the regular in 25. Like, it's just that the show's been on for that long that you could not watch it. I used to watch it all the time, but for 25 years, I have not. Like, that's a crazy statement to say.
I mean, even to say 20 years at this point, with the way The Simpsons does their seasons, you're talking over 400 episodes that you haven't watched. That I haven't watched, that probably a lot of people haven't watched. But I don't even hear anyone be like, oh, you guys, you slept on this season of The Simpsons, or you slept on this one episode of The Simpsons. Like, if The Simpsons are doing anything good, I do not hear about it at all. Everything I see about The Simpsons online is The Simpsons from 1994. It's old Simpsons, old references, the same jokes we've been making for decades as is. I do not hear about anything Simpsons past like the mid to late 90s.
Well, I only hear like a general statement where people be like, it's not as bad as you think. It's actually decent. There's some good stuff on there. They'll never tell me, oh, check out season 30, episode 10, but they'll be like, but there's some good stuff. It's
as
good.
A generalization.
Yeah, just general stuff. I do keep up on the treehouse stuff because of horror, and I do my compilations and stuff like that. So I always want to know like what they're talking about and stuff like that.
So I just thought that was really interesting to see that The Simpsons is winning an Emmy award in 2024. But that was awards that are it has to be, I would think so.
That long to win?
Yeah. Crazy. But those are awards that have already been given out, JoeMeZ. Sometimes we want to know about awards still to come. And our friends at the Razzies have not disappointed us because they've announced their nominees. The Razzies will take place March 9th, which is the night before the Oscars.
Okay.
And once again, we'll go through a couple of things. Worst picture nominees.
I'm trying to think of bad movies. So it's probably like Aquaman is probably going to be right.
No.
Like those, like Flash, stuff like that. Superhero movies. Wow.
So there is a superhero movie here, but it's not The Flash. It is Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
See, now that's just piling on because
I think
there were other
too.
bad ones too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Aquaman is just as bad.
We have The Exorcist Believer.
People hated that, yeah.
Expendables 4.
Yes.
Meg 2, The Trench.
It wasn't the worst of, but it's not good.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And yeah, you know what? I would think I've seen both. Aquaman is worse. And then the final one is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
See, now, but that's like, to me, don't nominate that because
it's supposed to be bad.
It's like
or
bad,
not necessarily supposed to be bad, but
yes,
but it's go into that thinking you're going to see a great movie today.
They're trying, they're going for crude, stupid, and it's just there's 100 movies that are just as bad in that same kind of genre. Just because it's got Winnie the Pooh, obviously, it's a
Mhm.
little more popular. But don't be nominating that. Keep it to your stupid mainstream Hollywood movies. What do we do?
Worst actor. We got a lot of big names here, Gomez. Russell Crowe for The Pope's Exorcist.
I hear that's a amazing performance. I still haven't caught that one, but all I hear is how wonderful Russell Crowe is. I gotta be honest.
Well, if it's anything like his performance in Thor, what is it, Love and Thunder, then
Love and
yeah, no
Thunder.
thanks.
Oh, he was having fun though. Come on.
He was something.
He was in a different movie.
We also have Vin Diesel for Fast X. And I'm not completely against this. Do I think there's others that are worse? Yes, but I mean, as much as I want to sit here and pontificate on how much I enjoy the Fast and Furious movies, this one was really not that
Yeah,
good.
but to nominate him, what does he say? Like fucking 5 lines
I
in the
know.
whole, he's very grunt and just kind of I get it, but come on.
We also have Chris Evans for Ghosted.
I did not see that, but I have heard that is terrible.
Jason Statham for Meg 2: The Trench.
Again, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's bad in the sense of you hear Meg 2, let's go, and there's like no Megs in the fucking movie.
Well, it feels like they've picked a couple movies here and said we're gonna hammer these movies.
Yes, and they just kind of pick, which is why
because we got quite a few Meg nominations. We get more Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
What else do we have? We have John Voight here for Mercy as well for worst actor. Whatever. But worst actress. Now we go back to Ghosted. Remember, Chris Evans just got nominated, so we got Ana de Armas for that.
Yes.
Megan Fox for Johnny and Clyde.
What is that?
No idea. Selma Hayek for Magic Mike's Last Dance.
How dare they?
Jennifer Lopez for The Mother.
Oh God.
And Helen Mirren for Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
She's not even the worst part of that movie. She's having fun.
But for supporting actress, now we're not going to keep going, but like Lucy Liu, Shazam: Fury of the Gods again. Worst supporting actor. Now this is kind of funny because we get Michael Douglas for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
I like the way he's fun.
We get Bill Murray for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
So fun. They like to nominate the real actors too. Like that's like their thing.
Yes.
Like, oh look, Michael
it
Douglas.
brings attention.
Oh, yes.
Sylvester Stallone for Expendables 4. Mel Gibson, Confidential Informant. So like they're obviously hitting on these names and wherever they can get the the rub. 100%. Then they have like a worst screen couple thing. It's just like whatever. Worst director, worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel. Who gives a shit?
Yes, some bad movie is a bad movie. What do we do?
A bad movie is a bad movie. So that's the Razzies. I did find it interesting just to see like what their theme was.
To see what they're targeting on. Yeah, it is because it's the truth. They pick one or two things and they pick. That's why people don't like them. They pick on them. They pick it on people.
One other movie news, a note here to mention. It was announced today that as we record this, there's going to be a new chapter in the Jurassic World universe.
I didn't hear this. What's happening here?
It's newsworthy because the screenplay is being written by David Koepp, who also wrote the original Jurassic Park as well as The Lost World. So this has gotten people excited now. Like, oh, we're going back to the original writer. When I don't know. I don't think that's something to get excited over. Like, what is number one? Both of those first movies were adaptations for books.
Of a book, yes, exactly.
Number two, like, what else? What is new to do with Jurassic Park except for the way I guess the last Jurassic World movie left it is like dinosaurs are more ensconced in the culture now, like they're out there. So what else do you really do?
No, they don't. They have ideas, but then they don't play with them. So now we can't have another movie where they just go back to the park. We can't go do that right away now. We can't do that again. And yeah, they ruined. I mean, I was excited. As bad as those other movies were, I was excited for that third one because I was like, oh, bro, the dinosaurs are in the regular world. This is gonna be, and they don't do nothing
They
with
really,
that. It's like
but they're
it's a
not
tag at
exactly.
the beginning and a tag at the end, and it's back to the. Remember, was it the fucking locust? Right? It was the fucking
Yeah.
genetically. Oh, what a piece of shit!
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Last bit of news, Gomez. As you are listening to this show on Thursday, it has released on Netflix the new season of Masters of the Universe, the Kevin Smith series. This one titled Revolution. And Gomez, we waited all this time for 5 new episodes.
It's so crazy, bro. It's so crazy. All that time for 5 episodes. Wow.
All this time for 5 episodes. And this is being billed as the ultimate battle between magic and technology. Because if you remember where the first season led off, Skeletor is kidnapped and now he will be given the technology powers of the motherboard. And we'll see how far that goes. But we're going to get some Hordak in here, which will be nice to see. Hopefully, the people who I speak to who have gotten advanced copies to do reviews and stuff have been very complimentary of the first episode, which I believe is all that has been given out so far. I'll be honest, my excitement level for this is very in the middle. I'm very mediumly excited for this. Like I said, it didn't have the rewatchability for me.
Yes. Because we were very into it when we watched it. We were like, this is good. This is not bad. We were into it.
I also think there was a big problem with the way Netflix did this in the first place, where it was a 10-episode season. They released 5 and kind of left you hanging on a lot of stuff. If you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to make it weekly, make it weekly. Otherwise, give me the whole shebang. Don't give me half a season now, half a season in 3 weeks. Give it to me. Let me watch it. Let me enjoy it. We're all going to get over it anyway, because that's the way we consume media nowadays.
Yeah. Amazon just did this with Invincible. They released like 4 episodes, and now it's been about, it's going to be 2 months. I think it comes out in March. It's like, just why do we hold these episodes for 2 months? What are we doing? I don't get it.
I don't get it. So that was the news this week, Gomez. I do have a little bit of follow-up from last week, however.
Ooh, sure.
You mentioned the movie on Hulu called Self-Reliance, starring was it Jake Johnson, Anna Kendrick, Andy Samberg. I went and checked it out. I said, this sounds like it's something up my alley. So I watched it and I moderately amused, I guess.
Sure.
I kind of thought I was going in expecting a comedy. It wasn't really a comedy.
Yeah, it has moments, but it's more.
It has moments, but even the moments are very tempered. It's enjoyable enough for me to watch. I didn't hate it by any means. I'd probably give it like a triple main man or something, kind of in the middle over there.
Yeah,
but it was not something I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't wait to watch this again.
No, it's like it's a little over an hour and a half. It's just a nice little movie you watch, and like if you were flipping through the channels, you would go, "Oh, what's this?" Okay, and you would just watch it, and you would never think about it again.
I also think they got too kind of cute with all the reveals in it, where it's this guy who's, if you haven't watched it or you didn't listen to last week's episode, which you should, by the way, definitely go listen to last week's episode. This is on Hulu, by the way, Self-Reliance. It's about Jake Johnson gets pulled into this game show where he's got to make 31 days without dying. Basically, he can't be killed if he's with someone, in close proximity of somebody. So if he's ever by himself, that allows for all these people to come out of the woodwork and try to kill him. And the whole point is for him to try to get through the entire month. And as it goes on, there's like these people he kind of befriends. And then it's like, oh, this person's part of the game too, or this person's like, and it's just like, all right, like enough is enough. Like,
I agree. I agree with that. Yes, I do. I didn't like that reveal of his buddy. I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, I didn't like that. The homeless guy. I was like, oh, come on.
I thought that relationship was good. It really grew on me. But then when he finds the girl and she's like, oh, I'm a contestant too. And she brings like her mom along and whatever. And it's just, oh yeah, she made it up. And it's just like, seriously, everybody? Like, does it have to be everybody? because then he goes to he's a lonely guy, and he thinks he's making some kind of connection with someone after breaking up with this girl who was I guess the love of his life or whatever. And it's like, no, you have nothing. You have nothing. Like, just, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have did it. Maybe you should have just let yourself be killed. Is like what the end of the story comes out to be.
I get that. Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked it, but exactly. I said, yeah, I think you like it, but no. This is not a movie that people need to run out and see. If you got some time, you're scrolling through looking for something, this is something to pass the time.
If you subscribe to Hulu, like, you should be watching this just because it's original content on Hulu. This is kind of where your subscription dollars go. So I think it's just for that alone, it's worth checking out. It won't be the worst thing you see this year. It's not going to win a Razzie by any means. But even with the people involved, I was kind of expecting more or a different tone. And
I guess
it wasn't really what I was kind of expecting.
Yeah. I get it. I get that, Joe. Very good. I did some follow-up because last week,
I hope it's what I'm hoping for.
Last week you mentioned you watched some AI comedy special, and I said this sounds insane. So I had to come and see what you were talking about, to see George Carlin. I'm glad I'm dead, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Where it is a AI that was fed hours and hours of George Carlin material to spit out what would be a 1 hour stand-up special. It's pretty crazy. The material, I'm not like, oh, haha, but the material that he's talking about is very George Carlin-esque. Like, I could see him talking about these things. I could see him talking about it in the ways he's talking about it, making points he's making. It was really trippy because this man's been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just like he was there. Like, no, it didn't sound exactly like him, but I mean, he's had different stages in his career. He's gotten older, younger. So this could just be, he's a little older now. So he sounds a little different. And it's just, it's kind of scary, Joe. This is pretty wild shit right here.
What did you think when about halfway through, I mentioned this last week, where it starts going into like the benefits of AI?
Yes, it's funny. He starts talking about AI. We'll live in a utopia. There'll be no violence, no rape, no nothing. It's like, okay, sure.
I get AI's coming here to make your lives better.
Don't be scared of it. Meanwhile,
which is exactly what AI would say.
I'm terrified of AI because it was a George Carlin special. It was crazy. I didn't listen to the accompanying podcast, the Will Sasso
neither
thing.
have
I do want to listen to see what they say and talk about. I did start listening to one of the episodes, and I guess what they do is the AI builds an episode for them to do.
I believe that's the gimmick, yes, because the technology is called Dudesy.
Yeah.
And then the accompanying podcast is also Dudesy. So it's Dudesy doing the show.
So it's like, oh, today, it's like, oh, Dudesy, what's the rundown for today? So it tells them what they're going to be talking about. And then they talk, they talk about, I don't know if they're, they know beforehand or whatever, but it was just very interesting because it's all AI based. So I do want to listen to see, because the AI is going to explain how it brought George Carlin. The AI is going to talk about the special. So I'm very interested to see what the robot has to say about making this crazy shit. We're all going to die soon, huh? This AI is like...
At the end of it, once it was concluded, and now you being a self-professed huge George Carlin fan, how did you feel at the end of it?
It was weird because I'm like, this is... Like I said, I could see him talking about it, like they said, just the general ideas of how he's talking about the pandemic and talking about what's going on with the politics in the world. It's all very Carlin-esque. This is what he talked about. He was very, passionate, and he let you knew exactly where he stood on topics. He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And so even just like the way he talked, the cadence, when he would tell a joke, how he gets real low, and then he gets, he does all these things. And I'm telling you, I was like, this is
But
weird.
like,
It
did you
said it
feel
was the
okay about it at the end of it? Like, did you feel like, oh, I don't know if we really needed to
no,
do this? Like, at the end
I
of it,
don't
I
like
felt
it.
kind of dirty. I was like,
Yeah,
you
I
know
don't
what?
like
This
it. The
is something I
man's
shouldn't be watching.
No, the man's been dead. I'm sure there's no consent here. They just fed his public.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's public records or whatever. But yeah, because this is just the tipping point, right? They just did a silly little stand-up special, and it sounded, because I'm sure there's plenty of people who have no clue who George Carlin is. They
Correct.
just come across this and they don't know he's dead, who he is, anything. Like, oh, look, I heard this funny guy talking about stuff on YouTube.
And this is just like the tipping point, right? Like, this is just the
That's what I mean.
start.
This is just the beginning.
So
This is
what
just the beginning.
exactly? If you could do this, what can't you do? The options are almost endless at that point.
I would like to see, obviously, I want to see them attempt other things with it, but I also want to see, like, in a year, if they try to do another George, like, see if the AI has progressed to see how another George Carlin special, like, if they really perfected that. Because I see some deep fakes, like I said last week, I mentioned I like watching silly AI, Homer Simpson singing stuff. That's silly. But this is like a whole stand-up special, and you see these things online too, like, right, where they put like Jim Carrey's face on Tom Cruise. Like, they
Yeah.
do things like that, or Jim Carrey in The Shining. That's a video I see, and it works perfect. You couldn't tell me that this man did not make The Shining. And it's like, whoa, this is step one. This is people at their house on their fucking MacBook doing this. Like, this
Ugh.
is
Yeah, that's right. Like, I remember it used to be like such high-end technology, expensive to even do like video editing. Now, like, you
yes,
just look, I mean, even look at us. Like, we're a homemade podcast, whatever. We edit, we produce, we do all
yeah,
this stuff. You go to our YouTube channel, like my food videos over at youtube.com/JoeShoes. Like, this is all stuff I do at home now. And like, I went to broadcasting school. Like, I had to
yeah, you did.
learn how to do all this stuff like years ago, when the accessibility of these programs didn't even exist. Now you have kids growing up their whole lives having access to this stuff. It's basic,
Yeah,
computers to them. Now, granted, we didn't have the internet when you and I were kids, and when the majority of people who listen to this show was growing up, but just the accessibility you have to remember, like, you used to have to cut tape. Like, I'm old enough to where I had to learn how to cut tape
that's
originally.
crazy.
We were
That's
still
crazy.
using tapes. Then when stuff started going digital, then you had to learn how to digitize tape.
Yes.
It's insanity. Now we carry around a computer in our pocket, film whatever we want, add whatever music we want. It's all at our fingertips. To think
Yes.
about how far we've come from that kind of perspective is absurd. To think, if I'm telling myself at 7 years old, hey, one day you're going to have a podcast, I'd be like, what the fuck is a podcast? And then when I explained it, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty insane that I'll be able to do all of that and reach
Yeah.
all these people around the world who
in my
listen to this show.
living room, I just
Yeah.
sit in my living room and do
I
this.
just sit in
Like,
front
what?
of my own
I
action
know.
figure that
I
I'll
know.
have
Yeah.
as an adult.
I know. I don't have to leave my house. That was always the crazy thing. It's like, what? Oh, God bless
So
technology, guys.
yeah, pretty crazy, scary where we could be going.
Mm.
Aside from this, I have one thing that I watched this week, a new thing outside of our big movie, our main event.
Sure.
This is a 3-episode documentary on Netflix. It's the new thing on Netflix. It is
Ooh.
called American Nightmare. And I said, I
Ooh.
have to see this, because if Cody Rhodes is getting a Netflix documentary and it's not on Peacock, this has got to be good. But then when I looked at the episode listing and I saw that there was a finale to the story, I said, oh, this isn't about Cody Rhodes at all.
Poor Cody. Maybe next year, kid. I saw this on Netflix because I watched some Netflix stuff. I'll bring up when you're done here. I did see this come up. I didn't click on it though, so I don't know what it's about.
So this is 3 episodes. It's a true crime special.
Okay, yeah, all right.
And the description is after a harrowing home invasion and kidnapping in 2015, a couple is accused of staging the entire ordeal. And this is about a real life couple named Aaron and Denise. And in the middle of the night, they are sedated and tied up, and Denise is kidnapped. And Aaron finally gets free in the morning, and he calls the police. He's like, hey, my girlfriend was kidnapped, and explains the whole story. They play the 911 call. There doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency. It sounds like a wildly fictitious story. You're listening to his interrogation, basically. They're trying to pin it on the boyfriend from the very beginning, obviously. This happens in Vallejo, California, by the way. And eventually the cops just get to a point where they're like, oh, you know what this is? It's that movie Gone Girl.
Oh my God.
So they just come up with this theory that this couple, or just the girl involved, is trying to get away from the guy. So she staged this like the movie Gone Girl. And eventually she's freed, and she shows up at her house, and she starts telling the police what happened, but they under no circumstance believe her. The cops go out in public and absolutely bash her and say she wasted community resources and time. And the police they call them liars. You made this up. You're bad people. You wasted our time. You wasted funds. You wasted the community's tax money. And then it turns out that that it did really happen. The person who was perpetuating these crimes was like a serial kidnapper and rapist.
Jesus.
And continued to do so until another case in a different jurisdiction came up, and the police officer assigned to that put the pieces together and was able to connect the dots. Wild story. 3 episodes long. They're all about 45 minutes. A wild story where you look at it and you go, by the end of it, you're like, I cannot believe that this is something that really happened. Now, I will say, with the stuff that they show here from the interrogations and getting the reports and stuff, you're definitely questioning the validity of what these people are saying. At the same time, this is a kidnap, a home invasion, a rape. Like, there's a lot of big stuff here. And the cops are just like, nah, we've seen Ben Affleck movies. This is Gone Girl. And like, it's in all the papers, it's on national news, and they're just like, the Gone Girl case from Vallejo, California, and the police have said she made up the whole thing. Absolutely insane stuff. If you're into the true crime genre, definitely check it out. I know Gomez's wife is big into this, so he'll be watching it soon.
I'll be watching it this week.
And it's not a big time commitment. A lot of times with these mini series that they do, it's 8 episodes, an hour each. But this is 3 episodes, probably about 45 minutes to an hour each. Perfect. It goes quick. And then by the time like you're into like the meat and potatoes of it, you're just like, oh no. And you're like banging on tables and stuff. How dare they? So it gets you fired up. It's well done, but it's a crazy, crazy story.
That's crazy. I definitely, I'll have to check that out. I mentioned I was on Netflix. I watched a couple things on Netflix. I watched one thing that came out last year, and I don't even. Did you hear about this movie, Joe, called Pain Hustlers? It stars Emily Blunt and Chris Evans. Okay, so I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Something
movie?
we would have heard of.
Exactly. So it came out towards the end of last year. It's about this Emily Blunt is having a hard time keeping a job, blah blah blah. She runs into Chris Evans, who sells pharmaceuticals to doctors. It's all about selling fentanyl, stuff like that, opioids. I don't know if it's based on a true story. It might be loosely based on stuff that happened, but so it's just about them, scheming, making money, rise and fall. And I'm just like, how is this a movie that I mean, I know things come and go on Netflix, but usually you at least hear about it for like a day or two.
I mean, these are big stars. Chris Evans
These
is
are
a big
movie
star.
stars.
Emily
These are movie
Blunt is
stars.
like she does real
Like,
movies.
Like, this is
How
crazy.
did
Like,
this
this
slip under the radar?
it's crazy. So I watched that. I didn't think it was very good. It's okay. Some people might like it more than others. Chris Evans is great as always. I just find him charming, charismatic. He's on screen, you're having fun. The rest of the movie, it's okay. It's a little long. It's about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. But I just wanted to bring that up, that there's this movie with these movie stars that just
I just want it to be
no one has
known that
heard
this
about.
is a movie
Like,
that
this a movie
exists.
exists. And then so real fast, the movie I was gonna bring up is I watched the #1 movie in Netflix this past week. I don't know if you saw. There was a new Kevin Hart movie came out. It's called Lift. It's about it's like a Kevin Hart Ocean's 11 kind of thing. He's like a con man and he's got to do a job, trying to steal an airplane or something like that. That's like the hook of the movie. That's why it's called Lift.
Anybody else in it?
Nobody really. There's people that but like nobody's like, oh yeah. It's basically just the Kevin Hart movie, the Kevin Hart vehicle. And it's okay. It's not like silly like Kevin Hart movies. He plays a very silly character usually.
It's a heist, so it's lighthearted. I'm
It's
assuming.
lighthearted. Everyone's got a different role they play. One guy's quirky, one girl's a tough girl. Stuff like that. He kind of plays like a straight man in the movie. That's why I just want to let people know they're watching a Kevin Hart movie where he does tell jokes, but he's kind of the straight man playing off of people. It's a little over, what is it? It's about a little under 2 hours. It's not bad. 3 stars, right in the middle. It's not bad. It's again one of these movies. If you were flipping through the cable channels, like, oh, what's this Kevin Hart movie? And you probably get sucked in, interested, like, oh, they're gonna steal this. Stuff like that's fun. It's interesting how they pull off the heist. Is there a secret heist? There's always a secret heist. So it's like, oh, let's see if they stole something else. Blah, blah, blah. The usual. It's good. It's not great. Netflix.
Well, how many main men
you
on
pay
that?
for? Like 3, 2.5, 3. Like it's in the middle. Okay. It's nothing great, nothing bad. Like you said,
nice background stuff that you don't have to pay full attention to.
And like you said, if you're paying for the product, this is what you pay for, right? You're paying for original programming. Yeah. So here you go. So if you pay for it this month, it's not the worst thing you saw.
Well, speaking of stuff we don't pay for, our main event, which originally we thought was on Paramount Plus, but is not on Paramount Plus anymore.
So
JoeMeZ, I would like you to take this moment to apologize to all the listeners.
I'm sorry, folks. I try to, get things in advance. I try to produce the show many weeks in advance so we know kind of what we're doing. And in this day and age, bro, 1 week the thing is on 5 streaming services, and then I turn around, it's on 0. And it happened to me. I said, all right. I said, it's on Paramount. I know nobody's got Paramount, but maybe someone signs up, whatever. But no, not even. Fuck.
I went to Paramount. I said, I'm gonna watch me some Moulin Rouge, and it was not there. And I Googled it because when you Google a movie, it'll show you where it's playing, and it showed me nothing unless I wanted to pay for it. And I said, JoeMeZ, what did you do? What did you do? And he's like, no, it's on Paramount. I said, no, it's not. So you went ahead and put it on twitch.tv/Mez movie for all the people to watch. Thank you very much. I watched the movie. I did not stick around for the post game show.
We got some good stuff, bro. Oh man, you missed out. I did a lot of Simpson musical stuff because the Simpsons love to have musical moments. So I did about 20.
The Dr. Zayas clip.
Of course I did. See my vest. Who needs the quickie mod? Come on, all the bangers. It's so fucking good. It just I was getting the clips together and I'm just like, this show is just the best. This is the fucking best show. This is the best. Oh, so good, those clips. A lot of fun.
So the movie we watched today, keeping up for musicals month, is the 2001 Baz Luhrmann film Moulin Rouge. Clocks in at 2 hours and 7 minutes, starring Ewan McGregor
Hello there.
as Christian. I'd say best known nowadays for playing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Of course.
Nicole Kidman as Satine, who, when you think Nicole Kidman, I think Batman Forever. For me, that was a big movie for me. Well, don't think too hard because JoeMeZ hit my game show music.
This is gonna be a tough one.
I've been excited for this all day because even as I was writing out my notes, I said, but what do I know Nicole Kidman for? What could it possibly be? So we're going to play an episode of the IMDb game. Michael Jonathan JoeMeZ, 4 movies that Nicole Kidman is known for according to IMDb. Can you name them?
How about Moulin Rouge? Is that on the list?
That is number 1.
Okay. All right. So that's good. I'm going to say The Others.
No.
Okay. Because I can't even, I don't know. Australia.
No.
Now I'm running out of things that Nicole Kidman said. What the fuck? Far and Away.
No.
What's that other one with Eyes Wide Shut?
No.
What the fuck is she in, bro? Batman Forever.
Also incorrect. Not on the list.
I was gonna say if Batman Forever's on that list, I was about to go crazy.
Why wouldn't it be? I thought it should be.
So like, I'm trying to think because I feel like I named like very popular Nicole Kidman things, and I don't. Aquaman? Is she in Aquaman? Right?
She's the mom in Aquaman.
Is that on the list?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Sometimes it's crazy and they put something stupid.
Oh, believe me, we played this game enough times where we know to expect wild stuff.
I think that's my last guess.
I'm shocked you had as many guesses as you had. I don't really see anyone getting these other 3.
That's what I mean. Like, I felt like I named, when you first said, I'm like, what the fuck is she? And then I felt that I named some pretty popular things she's in. So what the fuck is this lady in, Joe?
So, number 2 on the list, like I said, you got Moulin Rouge, which is number 1. Number 2 is the 2002 film, The Hours. Now, you said The Others, but this is The Hours.
Yeah, no, that's different. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yes, that is a movie, yeah.
At number 3 is the 2010 film Rabbit Hole.
Wow, Rabbit Hole. What a fucking movie that is. It's a movie about a dead kid. A kid dies in a car accident, and it's about the parents grieving. What a fucking movie to put on that list. Jesus Christ. Okay.
And at number 4, the 2003 film Cold Mountain.
Okay, so I was thinking, all right, I was in that ballpark with the big kind of epic, but that's just, wow, okay. That's interesting.
So, one thing, thank you for playing the IMDb game, by the way, JoeMeZ.
It's been a while. We haven't played it in a long time.
It has been a while. I thought this was a good one to do it with.
It was, because it is, because I'm sure we'll have a discussion on the Facebook group. Where do you know Nicole Kidman from? I do want to know.
Now, one of the movies you brought up was the film Australia, which I believe was also a Baz Luhrmann film.
Yes, it is. Big 3-hour epic.
In Moulin Rouge, originally, Heath Ledger was to get the part of Christian until it was determined that he was still too young to be believable as Nicole Kidman's love interest. And he was so pissed off at it. He was so mad at Baz Luhrmann that he didn't get the part, that he refused to work with him on Australia.
That's silly because to me, that's what the movie's about. It's about a young writer. So why wouldn't he be?
They thought he
young?
was too young. No,
That's so silly. That's young. You want young? I don't know. And he's so good. That would have been not that I mean, Ewan McGregor's amazing. He's wonderful. But I mean, Heath Ledger's pretty damn great too. That would have been interesting to see.
So, according to IMDb, Moulin Rouge is about a poor bohemian poet in 1890s Paris who falls for a beautiful courtesan and nightclub star who is coveted by a jealous duke. Now, Gomez, this is my first time seeing this movie. I'm assuming you've watched it before.
Yes, I have. Yes,
Did you watch it when it came out? You saw it in theaters?
I saw it years later. I didn't see it right away, and then eventually everyone's like, "Oh, Mulan!" People talk about musicals, modern musicals. It's one of the first things that come up. So I was like, "Oh, I gotta check this out."
So it's got some good scores. IMDb gives it a 7.6 overall. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 75% fresh with an audience score of 89% fresh. So I'm looking at that and I'm going, wow, that's pretty impressive. This was all made for a $50 million budget.
Wow. Insane.
When you look at the movie, all the costuming, all the people, all the different sets, the colors, the vibrancy. When I saw $50 million was the budget, I was like, that seems very low.
It's just that's how it used to be. Now it's 200 million to make that same fucking movie. Like, now, it's insane.
How this does at the box office domestically, $57.3 million in the United States. Internationally, it makes an additional $127.5 million. So it gives it a worldwide gross of 184.9. But I would think that 57 has to be a little bit disappointing.
I can see that, but I mean, Joe, this is a big swing of a movie.
Yeah,
this is a big. Within 5-10 minutes, you kind of know if you're gonna be on board or not.
And believe me, I'm one of those people because I think the first 15 minutes is a really good litmus test. That if you're not into it in that very first opening scene, you're not into it. And 100%. I could see a lot of people who are watching this now on VOD or on DVD. If you're not feeling this, you're out and you're shutting it off. And you just you know what? I'm gonna go spend my time elsewhere.
100%.
This movie comes in 44th domestically for the year 2001. Crazy. In the like I said, domestically for United States. The movies it is between, Gomez.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
At 43, so one movie ahead of it.
Super Troopers.
The Animal with Rob Schneider.
Oh man. Love it.
And at 45, the ensemble classic Rat Race.
See, I was close. I knew it was gonna be some stupid comedy. I knew it. Wow,
Number one that year was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which clocked in at $288.5 million. That's the first Harry Potter movie. So obviously there's a big one there, and that's a big Chris Columbus, family-friendly, big-time motion picture. But going back to the movie, like I said, within the first couple of minutes, you know whether you're on board or not. And for me, watching it for the first time, there's a little bit of setup with Ewan McGregor sitting at his typewriter and saying, "Oh, I wanted to be closer to the scene, and that's why I picked up and left England and went to Paris because I wanted to see the Moulin Rouge." And it brings you into that scene, and right off the bat, they're playing "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yes, they are.
And I go, I may not know a lot about a lot, but I'm pretty sure that "Smells Like Teen Spirit" still had to wait another 100 years or so to be written. That it couldn't have possibly been a big performance over at the old Moulin Rouge in 1899.
1890, yeah, baby.
So right off the bat, I'm sitting here going, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, yes, it is. It hits you with that. They're singing. That's one of the appeals. That's why I picked it, because of the variety of the music. It wasn't just a straightforward let's sing some songs. It was let's throw some contemporary hits, and you get like these little montages of performances where they're doing 2-3 songs and shit like that.
So the big one is, I guess they call it the Elephant Love Medley, and it's all song titles that have the word love in it. So you get "I Was Made for Loving You" by Kiss. There's the Wings song. There's a whole bunch, and I'm going, really? Like, I'm watching a musical. Like, where's your songs?
Oh my God, really?
I was really disappointed.
Wow,
in the musical choices here, because I'm going, I came in expecting a musical. I want something to grab me. And this was my complaint with Mean Girls last week, was that the songs, I understood why they're there and they're getting the point across, but nothing grabbed me. Nothing felt new or fresh where I wanted to take it home with me. And I feel like I got cheated out in this movie.
Oh, wow. Okay. I understand what you're saying though. Because I picked it for that reason, because it was something different. It didn't work for you. That's okay. Interesting. All right. Joe wants original. I will make note of that to make sure that any musical going forward has original content for my man here. No problem.
Now, I will say, I wasn't fully the Nirvana thing really took me out of it real quick, because it's literally one of the very first things you hear in the movie.
It is.
So I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck is happening? And I don't have the benefit of being able to turn it off because I have a very important podcast to do. So I'm watching and I'm liking enough parts of this movie. The colors, the visualization, the performances, the dance routines, the choreography. I mean, the costuming is, if you don't know anything about movies and you're just a casual moviegoer, even you're going to sit there and go, but my God, like there are so many people here that they're making costumes for, to build up to the spectacular performance. This is pretty insane. And some of these sets look bonkers, and the way they're being done and the way that's being cut, the movie has a very frantic pace to it. It feels like everything needs to be done in a hurry, or that someone is being caught in a bind and needs to pivot very quickly to something else. So there's this very frenetic pace to the entire film where it doesn't give you a chance to slow down. It doesn't give you a chance to get bored, and it keeps you there. But then something like the music comes along where it's like, oh, I mean, it's fine, but I feel like we could have done better.
Wow, crazy. Okay. So I wanted to bring this up because I don't know how this might be just a us New York thing, right? Growing up, we had a store, ShopRite, and every once in a while,
ShopRite. This is the story you want to bring up.
Yes,
the supermarket.
The supermarket ShopRite, and every once in a while, they would do a can sale. Do you remember these commercials, Joe? So I don't know if this is just a New York where someone in New York is gonna go, I remember this. Maybe you don't have it. Do you know that they still have can commercials? There's on because it's 100 years later.
ShopRite can.
Oh, it's that time again. Now ShopRite does the can, selling lots of brands of everything in cans. Today it's great to save some cash, so come to ShopRite's Can Bash. From can to can, you save us more on every brand. ShopRite's can, stock up all the values last. Ooh la la. Yeah.
Yes. So when I watch Moulin Rouge and they're doing a can,
that song hits, yes.
And it's the only thing I can think about. I don't know. It's probably just a New York thing, right? Because ShopRite, there's no ShopRites anywhere else over here. It's an East Coast thing. So do you guys have can sales where they sell a can of vegetables for 40 cents instead of $1.50 or whatever.
The commercials back in the day even used to be animated with can dancers, and they would, every time they would kick, it would be like flying cans at the screen or something, right?
Yes. So I read. So watching this, I haven't watched this movie in a while. And so I'm like, oh my God, a fucking can sale. Would you look at this? That's all I think about. You're like fucking Nirvana. I'm like, man, remember the 80s? The can sale? Oh man. All right. So then so it seems like see, so I'm trying to debate now if you liked enough of the movie, if the songs ruined the movie for you fully. I'm trying to get a sense of where you're gonna fall here.
Well, like I said, there's enough about the movie that I do like, although the mystery illness that Satine has and ends up dying from at the end here, which they call quote unquote consumption, is just like, oh, this relatively healthy prostitute all of a sudden has how possibly could this prostitute have a disease? Which I guess in researching, it turns out she had pulmonary tuberculosis.
Jesus. That is
so pretty much not the kind of person you want in a large group of people that could possibly infect everyone else.
The worst performer on that stage. Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis, you know, you're talking about someone who's got to be up there singing, dancing. It's gonna have very hard trouble catching their breath, keeping their wind up. I don't know how she did it, but hell of a performance at the end there. Glad she got the spectacular done before she died. We, you know, in the words of Tony Danza, who used to say this on his show all the time, thoughts and prayers.
God bless that man. Didn't he steal someone's girlfriend recently, right? Because
John Stamos, the John Stamos book.
That's right. I never got I'm still waiting for that book at the library. It's a long wait for this John Stamos book, bro. I totally forgot about it.
Stamos is over, man. It's a good looking dude. What do you say we hit some music?
Yes, let's hit some music here. Let's see.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
Joe, 2001's Moulin Rouge. What are you feeling on your main man standing here, Joe?
I could see this being a very divisive film, and I understand it's got good grades from these sites that we look at every week, but I could see a lot of people going back and forth on this. The film style that Baz Luhrmann has is obviously not for everyone. The pacing, the coloring, the quick cuts, the edits, the way stuff is jam-packed into the screen. I think I like this a bit more than I did the Elvis movie.
Okay.
But the lack of original songs, there's only one song that's like an original song on this soundtrack. I even forget the name of it, but it wasn't even qualified to be up for the Oscar because it was written for another movie entirely like a couple years before. So there's really no original music in this musical. And that's kind of disappointing because, like I said, when I come into these things, I'm looking for something to grab me, you know, make me want to take it home and keep it for a while, you know, see how it fits. And this didn't have that. Instead, I got like these fun takes on pop songs that I know from the 90s and the 80s and such, but that wasn't really what I was looking for. But on the other hand, I thought the performances were wonderful. Ewan McGregor's great. Nicole Kidman is great. I thought the sets were awesome to see. I liked how colorful it was. I like how they built up the allure of the Moulin Rouge as a place to be, the happening spot. So there's a lot to like here. And I did like it. I'm going to say that I did like this movie, just not, I didn't love it. So I'm going to give it
Sure.
a triple main man, 3 stars.
Okay, all right. See, so I'm with you. I love everything about it. I love the performances. I love all the sets. I love all the colors, and I love the music. I love that it's different. I love because I watch a lot of musicals. So for me, it's like, oh, this is a fun, different
A
type
change
of
of pace.
musical. A
Yeah.
change of pace. So I can see how someone who's not into it, who's not into musicals like that, who's like, you're into the musical aspect, you're into them telling the story. I get that. So that's that. I'm gonna give this a 4. Quadruple Main Man. It's one of my favorite musicals because it is different. Because I can watch something classic anytime, but this, it's like, yeah, let's mix it up. Let's have some fun. Let's hear fucking Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Let's hear fucking U2. Like, it's great. I love it. Man.
So,
All
quick
right.
note on that Nirvana song. Courtney Love was auditioning to be in this movie, and Baz Luhrmann worked it out with her to be able to use Smells Like Teen Spirit in this. But he had also hired Marilyn Manson to be the one to sing it for the movie. Courtney Love threw a fit about this because her and Manson were openly feuding at the time.
Yes, they were.
And then, so that had to be worked out, and then Courtney Love didn't get the part anyway.
Oh man. Okay, Joe. See, now we're gonna produce on the fly here, baby, because so if you are telling me you didn't like that kind of musical, well then we're gonna have to do a little pivot here. Okay.
Why?
Because
do we still have more musicals to go? We're still in January?
Well, no, because I was gonna do a thing. We're gonna lead into our next month of movies here in February. Because our next episode will drop on February, whatever it is, February 1st. So it's a new month. Look at that.
Okay.
So we were gonna start a new theme.
Ooh.
Right? It's the month of love.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I was thinking maybe we should watch some kind of romance movies, some rom-com, stuff like that. Right. So I was gonna do the thing where we pivot to the next month, but we kind of combine the themes, maybe do a romantic comedy musical, but I'm gonna say no to that. I'm gonna say no to that, Joe, because I was gonna suggest that we watch Mamma Mia. But that's the music of ABBA, right? So,
but that's a musical written to base around the music of ABBA.
So you think that's different? I mean, if it is,
yes, 100%.
So then we can stick with Mamma Mia. That's fine.
I want to see Mamma Mia, and I love ABBA's music.
So then I got nervous because I'm like, well, it's not original music. I want to enjoy. Okay.
But there is a difference for a musical.
I understand what you mean.
They say, oh, we're going to take this and build a show around.
Make a show around it instead of just throwing it in there. How do we make it fit? Okay. So this, I'm going to check again right now, live on the air. Okay. Because we want to make sure that this is still playing where I think it's playing, because I believe it is playing on Netflix. And as of right now, look at this. Look at this.
I see it on Netflix right now.
It's on Netflix still. Okay. Whew, I got nervous. So, Mamma Mia, next week, we're combining our theme of musicals with our new theme of romance, rom-com. Gonna have some fun this February. Let's watch some Mamma Mia on Netflix. I think this should be fun.
I really like ABBA. Do you have a favorite ABBA song, JoeMeZ?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm gonna say no. Like I'm one of those. I listen to ABBA, I enjoy it, but I'm not.
Mine is definitely give me a man after midnight. But in keeping with our tone of making Simpsons references today, there's also a really good joke where Mr. Burns shows up in a tank. And he's like, let me play my army music or whatever, and it ends up being Waterloo by ABBA.
That's funny. That's a great song. Oh, that's funny. Fucking Simpsons, bro. The best. The best.
So we fit in a lot of Simpsons references today. That was good. Well done.
God bless. God bless. All right, Joe. So we got next week lined up. How about we wrap up this one?
I think that's a good idea. Let's do it.
It's now time for the big finish. All right, Joe. It's wheel spinning time. Are you ready to spin a wheel?
All right. I got to get used to this new format. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. How are we going to wrap up this show? All right, Joe. Ooh, look here. We got our first fuck, marry, kill. Ooh, baby.
I'm excited to get myself in trouble. I'm doing real good with that on these big finishes so far.
No, this one's gonna be fun. This should be an easy one. You know, we're gonna stick with the Moulin Rouge here, and we're gonna do a fuck, marry, kill. Christina Aguilera, Pink, or Maya. We got the Lady Marmalade girls here. What are we thinking, Joe? I mean, right off the bat, my first instinct is fuck Christina Aguilera, right? She had the dirty stage, right? She seems like she would be the fun one of the group, no?
Go ahead, go on. I'm waiting to see the rest of yours.
Oh, you're waiting to see okay. And then see, I think I would marry Maya, kill Pink. I think that's what we're gonna do. Not that I have anything against Pink. I love Pink. I don't know. Maya seems like a lovely lady who would be a nice wife, a loving wife. I don't know.
So I'm actually going to kill Maya, even though I know she looks great.
She does.
But if I'm not marrying Maya, I have to kill her because this is not the kind of girl you just fuck.
I understand. That's why I said
you don't just fuck Maya.
She's a lady.
Exactly. And I wasn't planning on marrying her, so I'm gonna spare her the indignity of having to come over to my house or a seedy hotel room, which is more likely. And I'm going to just give her the old K there and be like, you can go. I'm gonna fuck Pink.
I don't think that's a bad choice. I'll be honest with you.
Because Pink, we've seen what she could do during her live stage performances.
She's pretty great, yeah.
She's up on those ropes and those ribbons, and she's doing all sorts of gymnastics bullshit. That seems like a lot of fun.
Yes, she will.
And Christina, I'm gonna marry because I think she still looks great. She has the voice of an angel, and she's got a giant bank account. And I require a certain lifestyle.
That's not bad thinking, bro. Not bad thinking. Oh, that's a good one. All right, see, quick and painless. I don't think we'll get in trouble for this one. You know, it's not a bad one.
Of course not.
We can't get in trouble for all of them, Joe. Once in a while, we gotta have a good, easy one.
But there is a method to my madness when I do.
No, but you're supposed to. Of course, you're supposed to really, think about it. You don't just marry anybody. Come on, bro.
No, I don't marry anybody.
No, it's gotta be worth it. Hit him with the plugs, Joe.
Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or if you're on Spotify, make sure to hit that 5 stars, or if you're on YouTube, youtube.com/@JoeMeZpod. Make sure to subscribe, leave some comments, hit that like button, and ring that bell. That way you get an alert every time we post a new video. Follow us on all the social media @JoeMeZ. Twitter and Instagram. We still call it Twitter. I know you're not supposed to, but we do because
fuck you.
Who
bro.
else? Who's called? No one's calling it X. It's like fetch. It's not even a thing. Follow all my personal stuff at the Joe Shoes. That's all across social media. I'll be at Toy Hio.
Oh, that's
Hee-ho!
right.
February 10th, Saturday,
That's
Girard,
right.
Ohio. Come see me. Check me out. Get one of my new Captain Joe Shoes pins. We've got the
Ooh.
enamel pins that you guys love so much. You saw them at the Major Pod live show if you were there. I sold a bunch of them already, so that's always good. We're all about the money. And Royal Rumble is this week, so I'm sure we'll be talking a little wrestling
Yes.
next week, JoeMeZ.
Of
JoeMeZ,
course.
early pick. Who do you got to win the Rumble?
I think CM Punk.
CM Punk, I'm going to say no. Otis is the guy to go with. Otis is the guy to go with because I said so. I got no reason other than that. But Otis to win the Rumble. So yeah, follow all my stuff at the Joe Shoes.
Do you think The Rock shows up to win the Rumble to set up a Roman thing? Do they need to do that?
No, I think he shows up maybe the Raw after the Rumble.
Okay, and just be like, "Yo, bitch, let's do it." Right?
Yeah.
If we don't need to. All right, interested. Okay. I'm the JoeMeZ 154 Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever, all that stupid shit. And Mez Movie on Twitch. You never know. I'm getting ready. It's almost Mania season. We're getting ready for Smith, baby.
We'll be back next week as we transition from musicals and into the season of love. And if you know anything about me, you know that I am the Lothario of love. I love love. And that's why we'll be watching on Netflix, Mamma Mia. Can't wait. Never seen it before. And I almost said, here we go again, but that's part 2. And we're not watching part 2.
Not
We're
yet.
just doing part 1. We're going to enjoy the music of ABBA together because we are people who like to do these things in groups. So we're all going to watch Mamma Mia.
Love it. Love it.
So JoeMeZ, with all that being said, why don't we make like Tom and cruise?
Peace.